That's right.
Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this tutorial, we will learn about functions and scope. So let's get started. A scope of a variable is a part of a code where a variable is recognized. So to understand this, let's just say a equals to 2, and then I want to print that a. And when I run this, it would give me a equals to 2. Now in this example, variable a is recognizable in the main body of the code. In case of a function, a variable that is existing outside of a function has a scope inside the function's body as well. Let's run this and understand what that means. So like in the previous case, we defined a to be 2, and then we printed a, which is the output here. And then we made a function definition. In line 7, we invoke that function with 0 parameters. And because the function is defined to just print a again, it would just print another instance of the value of a, which is still 2. And at the end, I again call print statement to print the value of a, which is still the 2. So that's the last output here. In this example, variable a is recognizable prior to the function definition, after the function definition, as well as during the function invocation. However, a variable that is defined inside a function has a scope only inside the function's bodies. Let's define a variable here, b equals to 100, which is a new variable that wasn't defined before the function definition. And then instead of print a, we say print b. I can get rid of this as I'll make a comment for this example. And then again, try to print b here. Need to take care of that indent, and let's run this. So when we ran this, we get the output or name error saying variable b has not been defined or is not defined outside the function. So b is basically a local variable that exists only inside this function definition. In other words, here in this example, the scope of the function's parameter is the function itself. The parameter is inaccessible outside the function. Such variables have a scope that are local to the function that define the variable. Therefore, they are local variables. In this example, variable b is local to displayName function. Consider a special case where local variable shadows the name of the globally recognized variable. For that, let's uncomment this and say a equals to 100 here inside the function and then print a. I invoke that function and then try to print a again. And let's run this. Here I'm saying 2, that's coming from the first print statement here. The definition of a was 2, so printed a, which is 2. Now there's a function definition inside which I assign a equals to 100 and print a. Now the execution goes to here, basically invokes this function, and these statements are executed. The value of a here is 100, and then it prints a, the 100. Now the execution moves back to this invocation line and then goes to the next line, which is a print a again. Now this print a again prints the value of 2 instead of 100. So what's happening here? Is this an error? Well, no, and that's because this variable a inside the function is local to this function. So the variable a created inside the function is not the same as when defined outside it. There are two different variables of the same name, a equals to 2 here, and then a equals to 100 inside the function. The function's variable a shadows the variable a coming from outside the function. Assigning a value to a globally recognized variable a forces the creation of a function's own variable a with the newly assigned value 100. Now there are cases where rather than creating a new variable with the same name, we need to access the global variable that is defined outside the function here. So we can do that with a global keyword, and that would look something like this. Global a. Using the global keyword inside a function with the name or multiple names for different variables forces Python to refrain from creating new variable inside the function. Let's see an output here. We try to print a again, and when we run this, the output would be 2, 2, and 2 instead of the previous example where the second output was the local variable of value 100. Now once we get the global a, we can use it to read the value like this or edit the value or modify the value. When defining functions, it is common that the implementation of a function will use assignment to local variables. But modifying global variable is not recommended. For example, if we change the value of a here and say a equals to a plus 98, this is generally a bad practice and it's not recommended. I just wanted to show you this is possible, and I've seen a lot of other developers or content creators say that on YouTube videos intentionally, but it is not recommended because it basically changes the value of the global variable within a function. And if you are using the same global variable inside other functions or anywhere else in the code, then you're basically changing the value everywhere in the code unintentionally with that. So it is not recommended to do this way. But I just want to simply run this and show you that here I have defined global variable a, print statement prints that value 2, and then I call the function here, and inside this function I'm accessing the global variable and changing the value of it. When I print a, it gives me the updated value. Now after exiting the function, the second call to a print statement for printing value of a will again print 100 because now we have permanently changed the value of variable a inside this function. So I think that's all for this tutorial video. I hope you learned something new and useful today. If that's the case, please give a big thumbs up. Also, don't forget to share and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, thank you.